So very quickly I want to take you through the unique validation system that PeopleMaps uses, and it also shows you the candidate experience, and it's very important to make that candidate experience pleasurable and short and not an onerous experience. So here we are on the landing page. This is where you'll send your candidates. Now the logo here can be your logo, and even these words here can be changed to words that you would prefer to use. We provide a video from Anne which explains to the candidate what they're doing and how they should go about completing the personality questionnaire. And here's the questionnaire. And what the candidate does, it takes somewhere between 5 and 8 minutes for them to complete, and the questions are very short, and they just tick on the box and then ask them firstly for the thing that's most like them, and then the least like them, and then to rate the remaining two. Very simple. Now, what happens once they leave that page is they're then taken to a registration page, and here it is here. And again, your logo can be located here, and we've kept this very short. And it's very important to keep the overall process low, because that keeps the accuracy of the system high and it keeps people engaged. You don't want candidates spending 30 minutes, 40 minutes filling in a questionnaire, because they become bored, they become fed up, and the results suffer as a result. So PeopleMaps has spent many years developing a very short online questionnaire that still delivers incredibly accurate results. So once they fill in the very short registration form, they're taken to this page here, and this is absolutely unique to PeopleMaps. And what it does is it gives the candidate 5 statements, personality statements about them, and asks them if they agree with it. No more than that. But it's very powerful, because if they agree with it, and to indicate, so here's the 5 statements here, so to indicate that they agree with it, they would tick on the 5 stars here. So if they agree with all 5 statements, they tick on the 5th 5 stars up here. If they only agree with 2 statements, they would agree with this much. What that tells you is if they tick 5 statements, then they've agreed with what they read about themselves to be true and an accurate reflection of their personality. If that's true, then you can make a reasonable assumption that the report that you're reading, which is a different report, a more detailed report, is then also accurate and true and a good reflection of who that candidate actually is. PeopleMaps is the only company that provides this, and it's absolutely critical. Carl Jung, the father of personality profiling, was determined that the only person who really could pass an opinion on the accuracy of a personality report was the person who completed it. Stands to common sense. So what happens next? Well, that candidate, of course, appears in your control room. So when you log into your control room, you see the candidate. There we are. You see which quadrant they're in, and you also see the rating that they gave the report. Now, if they gave the report 5 stars, then you know, okay, that's a good reflection. They're happy with what they see, and I'm happy with what I see. If they only rated it with 1, then that also gives you something to work with. It wouldn't mean that you wouldn't interview that candidate, but you could question, they didn't seem to agree with the statements, and that gives you something else to work with and to talk about. It also means you shouldn't accept the report as being absolutely true for that candidate. It gives you a good point of discussion. And that's the unique system to PeopleMaps, and it's possibly the fairest, most sensible way of dealing with, is this report a good reflection of who that candidate is? And that's what it's all about. From that point on, you can get to know each other really quickly. Thanks for watching.